Hey, how's it going, guys? Getting back to you with another upload once again. And I figured today would be a good day to show you guys the cover crop. This video is going to consist of a couple things: showing you the cover crop, and then hopefully getting you some footage of the sprayer spraying it. Right now, Dad's doing the border pass around the field. And so far, so good. He just started. So, figured I'd go ahead and show you guys what the cover crop looks like when it's extremely long. It's kind of thin right here in this spot. If we walk out here a little bit, and showing you guys the sprayer being in the field is a pretty good way of telling y'all that it's finally starting to dry up around here. We were out here with the sprayer earlier, driving to make sure things were dry enough, and it ain't too bad. I mean, you got to get down pretty deep to get down to some moisture, but I mean, there's still some moisture down there, but it's dry enough to at least get the cover crop sprayed. If we get the cover crop sprayed, then hopefully we can wait here a little bit longer for the cover crop to start to die off, and then we can start planting. But anyways, this is what the cover crop will generally look like when you let it grow for a long period of time. I know in my last couple of videos of the cover crop, it wasn't very tall, wasn't very thick, but yeah, generally this is what a cover crop looks like. It's not made to produce a very high yield if one chooses to harvest it. The only thing that the cover crops are put in fields for is basically to help with erosion, and when you kill the cover crop like we're doing now, it is also a good source of organic matter that works into the soil. I don't know, for some reason when we put this down, it almost looked like we went through with a drill and did it, but we did use a vertical tillage disc. But for some reason the different system that was on the disc, for some reason put it down in rows. Not really too sure why, but it was put in rows. So figured I'd give you guys a quick look of the very tall cover crop. So everything is green like it's supposed to be, and we generally don't let the rye get this tall by any means. It's usually, I don't know, just a little bit shorter. It's probably just a tad taller than what we would like it to be, but that's no big deal. But this is probably going to be our last year that we do the cover crop. You know, it was a nice thing at first, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and stick with the no-till practices and probably get rid of the cover crop, because every time that you put down a cover crop, you have to kill it before you plant or after we plant. And last year we planted in the rye when it was still alive, and it wasn't too bad, but you still got to make that trip across the field to kill the rye. So that, and it's kind of expensive to get the seed year after year. So this is the last year of the cover crop, and we're just basically gonna stick with the no-till aspect up here on the sand. So as you can see, there's still residue on the ground from last year. So, not saying that cover crop is a bad thing. It definitely, has done its definitely done its duties out here in the field. I think it's a very good way of controlling erosion. I also think it's a very good way to add the organic matter, like I stated earlier, but it gets kind of pricey in the end. So if there was some way that we could get rye seed a little bit cheaper, we would probably stick with it, but in this case we're gonna have to get rid of it. But we're not getting rid of it because we don't like it. It is a very good thing to do, I think. It also kind of depends on where you are, where you're farming. For us, since we are out here on sandier ground, we can do the no-till systems. We can do the cover crop with the vertical tillage disc. Us personally, we have never done the cover crop or the no-till on clay. We don't want to try it just for the simple fact that we know how hard that clay ground can get. So, well, the sprayer's going to be making its way over here in just a little bit, guys. So I'm going to get out of its way while it's still over by the barn. But I figured I would show you guys the cover crop and just how big it is. If we take a corn stalk right here, stand it up, kind of compare it. So it's pretty tall. So I personally will miss having the cover crop, but we'll see what happens when there's just residue on top, and hopefully it does just as good of a job as preventing erosion as what the cover crop did. So, alright, let's go ahead and get some footage of a sprayer spraying cover crop. .854 Rogator with the 5.9 Cummins. The only thing I wish we had was a set of floaters, but these tires will do. Got a 750 gallon tank. Spraying about 15 gallons per acre. So one load, we can get about 50 acres sprayed. Oh, something's going on. He's went and sprayed that twice. Yeah, if y'all haven't figured out by now, that corner is a royal pain, so you gotta spray it. You gotta spray it kind of weird. I forgot about that. Spraying that corner is not fun, so you gotta do a bunch of backing up and spraying, and you just gotta love pie-shaped corners. Okay, everybody, that about does it for this one for the night. Dad's almost got the field done, and I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes right now, so I'm gonna go back in the shop and wait for him to finish up this little bit right here in front of the house, and we're gonna call it a night. Want to thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you got a minute, hit that notification bell. So we'll see you guys on the next video, and hope you guys are able to get at it and stay at it in the field.